Joining us now, Senator Mark Obenshain, Republican from the Harrisonburg area. Hey, Senator, great to have you with us.
John, I appreciate you having me on.
We're fired up about oysters with Obenshain on this is going to be April 29th. The event at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds beginning at 5 p.m. Featured speaker is conservative Utah Senator Mike Lee. Now, here's a couple other things. We are going to be broadcasting live from Obenshain headquarters on Wednesday the 29th. We're fired up about that. Then we'll be attending that. And what you need to do is RSVP by just emailing Nick Collette. Go to that's NICK at markobenshain.com or give him a call, 804-496-1876. Oysters with Obenshain. We're fired up. So, Senator, how did you get Mike Lee?
Hey, we conservatives stick together. We are excited to have Mike Lee. He's a great leader in the conservative movement across America. He's got a lot of great connections in Virginia. He's very interested in what's going on here, and it's going to be a great day.
So, this Oysters with Obenshain now, can anybody attend in? How does it work?
Well, not just anybody, John. We're making an exception to let you in, but anybody else is absolutely welcome. It's a great event. We have a good time every year. We have this at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds. Try to introduce a little bit of the Chesapeake Bay to the Shenandoah Valley, and we have been a conservative leader every year, and we're delighted to have Mike Lee, and we want people from across Virginia to come and join us and have a good time on a beautiful spring day.
Oh, well, I would encourage anybody within even a couple hours of the area to check it out. You're going to enjoy Mike Lee. I've heard him speak 2 times. He's fantastic, and he'll get you fired up. But Oysters with Obenshain, great event. Now, I have to say this, and I am biased, Mark, if I may, but any event that the Obenshains put on that have anything to do with eating is absolutely fantastic. I don't care if it's a hospitality suite or anything else. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I would encourage everybody to get out there. And we're going to be broadcasting from Obenshain headquarters in Harrisonburg on April 29th as well. So good time had by all. Don't want to miss this out. And look, if they can invite me, anybody can go, right?
You got it. And, John, it's not just oysters. I know that there's some persnickety people out across Virginia who are not oyster people, but we've got great food. You're exactly right. Shrimp, Klein's ice cream for anybody who went to college at JMU. We'll have that there, and we'll have a good time.
Okay, now, calendar. It's actually the Spring Seafood Social. This is on Wednesday, April 29th at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds, beginning at 5 p.m., and you can RSVP 2 ways. Go to markobenshain.com and just click it on there, or you can send Nick Collette an email. Show him the love. Show Nick the love. That is Nick at markobenshain.com. That's all you have to do. Or call them at 804-496-1876. How easy is that? Senator, we've got the one-day General Assembly veto session coming up in 2 days. What do you look for? What do you think will come out of it?
Well, not a whole lot. Fortunately, one positive is that we passed a budget. The budget has not been tinkered with. Virginia's budget is now fixed, and we won't be making any changes to that. There are a number of amendments, most notably a lot of ethics amendments, and I was greatly disappointed with the governor's veto of my ethics bill that relates to the governor's office and the attorney general's office and their use of outside contracts to reward out-of-state trial lawyers, and simply required more transparency and capped the contingency fees that can be paid. Governor asked me to make changes to that during session to address his concerns. We made every single change that the governor asked for. And while the governor's tinkering with the General Assembly's ethics bill, he, in the cover of darkness, vetoes my ethics bill. And there was an editorial in the Virginia Pilot yesterday that Speaker Howell and I co-wrote addressing the governor's veto of that good common sense ethics legislation.
Hey, Senator, can you outline for our audience why you think the governor vetoed it and how that would have been more effective than what he's done?
Well, let me tell you briefly, what the bill does is it does two things. The governor and the attorney general use out-of-state plaintiffs' counsel in, frankly, attacking businesses. And they use outside counsel for a lot of other things, which we recognize are important and acceptable. All we did was said, if you're going to use outside counsel, simply make a disclosure as to why you're doing it and post that on a website so we can tell whether these outside lawyers are big contributors or not, so we can shine a little bit of sunshine on that. And second, we capped contingency fees. There are a group of out-of-state trial lawyers who shop cases to attorneys general all across the country to shake down business. And they do it on a contingency fee basis and make tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in some instances. And these are not typically Virginia trial lawyers. These are Gulf Coast and Chicago trial lawyers. And we capped those contingency fees and said that we would rather pay a smaller contingency fee where we have to pay one and make sure that the money that's recovered goes to Virginia's teachers, Virginia state troopers, and Virginia retirees and back into the Virginia budget where it belongs and not into the pocket of out-of-state trial lawyers.
Now, when you say to the pocket of out-of-state trial lawyers, obviously Governor McAuliffe has an objective with this. What do you think it is?
Well, Governor McAuliffe is spending a lot of time on the road working for and helping the lady you just played clips from yesterday. Hillary Clinton is engaged in a campaign for president. She's trying to shore up her base right now with the Democratic Party.
Right.
And she is certainly, if she gets that nomination, she's going to be facing a knockdown, drag-out race in which she's going to need all the resources that she can get. And Governor McAuliffe is quite accomplished at raising those resources, and he knows where to turn. And he's not going to bite the hand that has fed the Clinton machine for many years. And I don't know whether that's the motive, but that certainly is a fair question to ask.
Is there any chance you guys can get two-thirds to override the Maxter's veto?
Are you kidding me? We can certainly get it in the House, but with a 21-19 majority in the Senate, there is virtually no chance that we're going to override that veto in the Senate. Mm-hmm. And that's why these races this fall for control of the state Senate are so critically important. We need to hold our majority and, in fact, increase our majority.
The veto session convening on Wednesday. What about, Senator, the surveillance issues in Virginia? The state Senate, led by some Republicans, and the House, and in some bipartisan fashion, try to put some limits on the level of surveillance in Virginia. But McAuliffe has shot them all down with all kinds of amendments that make them meaningless. What is up with this? Well,
what the governor's done is the big bill that's garnering the most attention is the license plate reader bill that has been amended by the governor to basically give law enforcement unfettered authority to continue to use these license plate readers. And if you don't know what they are, there's technology that allows law enforcement to put a license plate reader on their car, and it literally collects license plates of all the vehicles on the road that it passes and keeps a database of that. And the question is, should we allow law enforcement to do that? The law enforcement community says it's important in trying to solve crimes, and civil libertarians are concerned that it is an intrusion upon our freedom and privacy. I think last week, Claire Gastañaga for the ACLU and Ken Cuccinelli, our former attorney general, teamed up and wrote an editorial criticizing the governor's veto of that. And I think we're going to see that bill having a good deal of debate and discussion. And frankly, there are going to be some unusual alliances that are made.
Well, there is. I had talked to a week ago. We had your colleague, Senator Chap Peterson, on our show, and he was absolutely outraged that his one bill got basically destroyed with McAuliffe's amendments concerning reading plates and how long to store them. But it's befuddling to people why a governor like McAuliffe would be, who's generally considered to be a liberal, would be vetoing legislation that basically is restoring privacy and civil liberties back to Virginians. How does this make any sense?
Well, my understanding is that the Attorney General's office may well have taken a different view that Attorney General Cuccinelli had taken with respect to the propriety of collecting this information. And I don't know whether the governor's office is accepting that guidance. And, when it comes to civil liberties, you look at our Bill of Rights, and it's amazing where liberals and conservatives break down. And there seems to be a movement on civil, quote-unquote, self-proclaimed civil libertarians to protect certain of our rights while ignoring other of the basic fundamental rights that our founding fathers had given us. And that's pretty troubling. Well
said. You hit the nail right on the head. The inconsistency of that is frightening, no question. I've got about one more minute, Senator Obenshain. What do you think of the Hillary Rodham Clinton for president campaign? What do you think?
Well, I think that she is going to be a formidable opponent. However, she has amassed more scandals in her tenure, and I just hope that the Democrats don't take too many chunks out of her campaign before she gets the nomination, because I'm looking forward to a robust, active, exciting campaign this fall, and looking forward to putting a Republican back in the White House.
It's going to be very interesting, no question. Now, I want to remind our listeners again, Oysters with Obenshain, the Obenshain campaign, excited to announce that United States Senator Mike Lee is going to be joining Mark for Oysters with Obenshain. Please make plans to attend this year's Spring Seafood Social on Wednesday, April 29th. The event will be held at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds beginning at 5 p.m. Don't want to miss any of this. I'm going to be there, so it's got to be fantastic. And we're also going to be broadcasting live from the Obenshain headquarters that day, April 29th. Here's all you got to do is send Nick Collette an email, say, I'm in, I want to go. That's nick@markobenshain.com, nick@markobenshain.com, or just go to their site and hit the button, the RSVP button there, which is markobenshain.com. Hey, Senator, great to have you with us. See you on the 29th.
Look forward to it. Let's talk about some of the Senate races when you get here.